We need to be speaking directly to Americans and make clear to them how dumb this tariff war is, how self-mutilating it is for Americans themselves.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
And we also need to use our own leverage. So we need to be clear with them. If they hit us, we will hit back. We do need to impose dollar for dollar retaliation. And our retaliation, unlike their dumb across the board tariffs, our retaliation needs to be surgically targeted to create the maximum pain and the maximum pressure in the United States. One idea that I've put forward is 100% tariffs on Teslas.
Are you serious?
That would send a very clear, very strong message. And I think we need to talk to countries around the world and ask them to join us. They want to work with us. It's time for us to step up at home, to urgently reach out to them and build a new world order. So I want to repeat a commitment that I made to the people working here. And it's a very important commitment for Canadians to hear from their elected leaders. And that is, yes, we do have some hard times ahead, and there are going to be workers and there are going to be businesses that are particularly affected. And I want everyone who works for a company that's going to be affected, who owns a company that's going to be affected, to know that as Prime Minister, I will be there for them. I will support them. And there is a wave of patriotism in Canada right now. Canadians will support them. As to what I would do as Prime Minister, one of the strengths that I bring to this leadership race is I'm already a member of Parliament. I've been elected 4 times. I ran in a competitive nomination for the first time in 2013, and then I was elected in a competitive by-election, and I've been elected 3 times after that. I have a seat in Parliament.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
If I am chosen as the next leader of the Liberal Party, I will be able to stand up in the front benches, on the government side, in the House of Commons, and speak for the government and speak for Canada in our Parliament.
What would you say you do here?
If I am elected as Prime Minister, the first thing that I will do is urgently convene a meeting of the premiers of the provinces and territories and convene a meeting of Canadian business leaders and union leaders. And I will say to them, we are facing economic warfare. We are facing what is the gravest threat to our country since the Second World War. I'm a member of Parliament. I have just been chosen as leader by my party. I have the right and the ability to govern for the whole country in a united way, and to lead us as a government through this tariff fight.
Oh, no. No.
And I'll say to the premiers, I'll say to business leaders, I'll say to union leaders, I am prepared to do that if that is what you want me to do. I think that needs to be a national conversation. And if I hear from the premiers, from business leaders, and from union leaders, we want you to govern, we need a united Canada right now that can stand up to that tariff threat, then that is the approach I will take. And as an elected MP with a seat in the House of Commons, that is something that I would have the authority to do. So I agree with the central idea in your question, that these concerns about the border, concerns about migration, concerns about fentanyl have been entirely bogus. This has been entirely a pretext. Of course, Canada wants a strong border. Of course, Canada also wants to protect Canadians from illegal drug smuggling. Canada wants to protect Canadians from illegal U.S. guns coming into our country and killing our kids on the street. And of course, Canada, like the United States, wants a border where we control who comes into our country and who does not. That is entirely legitimate, and Canada has, for decades and decades, worked effectively and collaboratively with the U.S. on those issues, and of course we will continue to do so. But this has never been about that. This has been about the United States seeking pretexts, seeking frankly ridiculous pretexts to declare economic warfare on Canada. That is what has happened. That is utterly unacceptable, and Canada needs to fight back. We need to be united, strong, and smart in our fight back, and we will be. And, you know, I think it is important for us to recognize just how dumb this tariff war is from the point of view of the United States. This is a self-mutilating action by the United States. This is going to hurt the U.S. economy. It is going to hurt Americans. Already the stock market, the U.S. stock market is down today. And when I took a quick look at it before this press conference, the Toronto stock market was up. That tells you a story, and it's going to hurt regular Americans. It's going to make their groceries more expensive. It's going to make gas more expensive. It is going to devastate the car sector in the U.S. People are going to lose their jobs in America, and companies are going to go broke in America, and every single American is going to find life is harder and more expensive.
Right.
And it is very important for us as Canadians to be sure Americans understand that, to double down on the pain with our own dollar-for-dollar reciprocal tariffs. And, you know, we need to be strong, smart, and united. We need to fight back. We need to always be open to the possibility that Americans will come to their senses and we will get back to the win-win, mutually balanced, mutually beneficial economic relationship that we have had with the United States for decades and decades.
I will ask the same question if I make you call me, but just a question for you. If we win, will it stay in Canada? I mean, to be out of the state, or what will be the next state?
So, I intend to win on Sunday, and when I win, I will invite Mark to serve as finance minister in my government. I think we'll make a great team. I think right now we need a prime minister who has a seat in the House of Commons, who can lead a government that has the political legitimacy to fight this tariff war, and someone who has experience as a political decision maker in a crisis, someone who has the experience and the plan and the guts to stand up for Canada in this critical moment. That is, I am the leader who is uniquely qualified to fight for us right now. I have been foreign minister, I have been trade minister, I have been finance minister, I have been intergovernmental affairs minister. That is actually the perfect set of experiences that we need in a prime minister right now in this critical moment. So I think the ideal combination is to have me, a battle-tested, proven political leader with a seat in the House of Commons as Prime Minister. I will invite Mark to serve as my Finance Minister, and I have made a commitment to Canadians, to my constituents, to run in the next election as a Liberal MP. When I step down from the government on December 16th, in my resignation letter, I explained that the threat from Donald Trump was existential, that we needed to focus all of our attention on that threat, that we could not afford to spend money on anything else. I have sadly been proven right. And I also committed to my constituents, to all Liberals and to all Canadians, that come what may, I'll run in the next election.